First day of camp. Just walking down to feed Nelly because we're the first lesson this morning, so got up a bit earlier. Heather's still in bed, living the life. And I'll give her a skip out and a little leg stretch in some grass, I think, so hopefully she's all game. We have decided just to do one lesson today, me and Charlotte Ridley, who has been our instructor for the weekend. I had mentioned to her the story, and yesterday after cross country was finishing, she kind of just said, I think you should just pick one tomorrow, they're both show jumping, and whichever one you think will benefit her more and you'll enjoy more, just do that. And then that way you can just give it your all and you don't need to worry about her, and then she can rest for the rest of the day. So that's what we're going to do. She's snoozing. Good morning. It's snoozing. Oh, honey. Oh, good morning. Just wanted to show you our little flat accommodation, but when you look out the window, you can see the cross-country course. How amazing is that? You can see it from the flat. Obviously it looks further away in the camera, it's actually quite close. It's probably about 100, 200 metres away. Yeah, probably 200, maybe more. But anyway, it's very close. Dirty windows. Yeah, that's where we were yesterday. What are we over there? This is our little flat. We're all sitting here, have tea together. It's Paul's and GRIDWIRK time. Good. Welcome back to Ailey's voiceover. This was our final lesson of camp, and I'm sure you're already starting to see, but what an improvement this warm-up was from day one. There was absolutely no spice at all in this. She wasn't as relaxed as she could have been, she still wasn't her most chill, but she didn't do anything silly, no napping, no pizzazz. So after that warm-up I was very chuffed. We came into the middle to let everyone have a canter around. She wasn't quite coping with all the cantering, as you can see, but she stood with a nice person. She takes a lot of reassurance from other people, so that was good. And then we went out to the track and had our own little canter on our own in the indoor school. And it went absolutely fine. So yeah, chuffed to bits with the warm-up. I was very, very happy, and hopefully it's a good sign of things to come, but I won't jinx it because I know what I'm like. Then we went on the other rein, again, pretty nice. I was probably a little bit wary of asking for too much canter. I was probably holding back a little, but yeah, I think it looks quite nice. Oh, she's so cute. And then we moved on to beginning the grid exercise. Now I must say, when I rode into that indoor arena and saw this grid laid out, I pooped my pants. This is not any grid I have ever experienced in my life. It was like 12, 13, 14 poles long, changing your bend halfway through, and then again a curve going the other direction as well. So seeing the jump stands laid out strategically along the way, I thought, this is gonna be tough, Nelly. I hope you got your dancing shoes. Hope you got your jumping shoes, I should say. So Charlotte got us all to trot through them a couple of times just so the horses got used to it and we got used to the steering of it, because let me tell you, I found this really hard. And we just sort of crisscrossed in and out between one another. And then we moved on to the next part, which was going through that and then adding in a jump for the second part. So Heather strategically moved place here.
Come on, Ellie.
She's doing her best.
So I and offer. One. Come on, good job. Good job. Well done, wiggle wobble. Okay.
I'm not going to leave much of the actual audio into this. If you saw the last one, you know why, but basically the instructor, Charlotte Ridley, said that we were more than welcome to film our lessons, but she would rather that we cut her voice out of it. So in respect for her wishes, I am cutting her voice and her tuition out of it as much as possible. Here we're going for our third attempt, just to make it a little bit sleeker. She has never done canter poles this complicated, so she did take some time to get it, but wasn't our neatest. Then we added a jump at the beginning of the first grid, which helped us sort of try to maintain a canter, but again, with the bend, she just really struggled to go around. This is getting better each time. Hardest thing she's been asked to do. And we've got a little bounce coming up. She managed to do quite well. Pretty messy afterwards, but she's doing it, which is good, because that is not what continues. So, jumping again, up, 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 up. Oh, look at us! Bloody professionals! Bloody professionals over here. Here for the next bit.
Good girl, Nelly.
I just had to leave that in. It's so cute, everybody celebrating Nellie's success. Here's a little bit of the beginning of the end, to be honest. She got ended on a high. That's just a brief glimpse of what Nellie does if she doesn't quite want to do it. And I found it very, very difficult to whip her around that tight bend onto that line. So what happens here is I jump this pretty messily and she jumps right to the outside of that landing pole. So rather than present her to that jump really messily, I thought I would just bring her around. However, that was apparently not the right thing to do. I got big trouble for that. I had to come around and get her over that pole no matter how messy. And then she dodged out of the last one as well. Again, falling out that left shoulder as per usual. But yes, I would always rather sacrifice the outcome and have it feel nice. So that's something I learned. Commit to the final outcome. And you'll do a bit better. Like that. Doesn't have to be neat, just has to be the right answer. And here we go, they've put it up to 3 bounces. Again, trying to get around that corner, it's so tight, we lost a lot of momentum. And by the 3rd bounce, she was like, Mum, I have run out of juice, I can't get over that. Got in a bit of trouble for that, and I'm really trying to keep her going, but it's just such a tight turn. And then she got overwhelmed, couldn't do it. Charlotte stood there, again, couldn't do it. She's so narrow, I almost came off as well, really. Nightmare. So, how do we pause? Simplified it. Came around again. Oh, perfect, we're back on our rhythm. Let's come and canter to the next bit. Go over the first. Nope. Nope. And she'd done that so many times, I think by this point in the camp she had just lost her mojo a little bit. I think she was probably tired of mind and body. So we just had to go over the bounces and go straight on, down to the bottom of the school. And try it all again. So you can see how tight that is to have a really straight line, and especially with her favouring the left shoulder, it was so easy for her just to fall out. I gave her a good smack and just kicked her on. You see my little legs going. I just felt really bad for not finishing on a high and, you know, pushing it that step forward, but I guess you don't know until you know. And as you can see, we simplified the pose all back down, just make it nice and easy. Again, you can just see her little brain and body just struggling with the questions here. But she did it, bless her, she did it. So then Charlotte got us to come around again. Again, that tight corner, it's really hard to keep up the momentum. Kicking away, again, not the prettiest, but getting the results, I guess. All the way up to the top. And then looking back down our line for the final time, coming in canter. Bounce, bounce, great. Couldn't quite keep it up for the bend. And then she ended. She got a big pat. Oh no! Turns out this is the last time. We really consolidated it. She still tried to not go, which I thought was interesting. Like, she was definitely saying, I'm finished now. But she had to get it right. So I'm really grateful for my camp mates and Charlotte for waiting patiently and letting her have the opportunity to do this. And me, and I learned a lot more about actually riding a horse, which was great. Oh yeah, that was the best one, wasn't it? Of the 3 fails. Big pats this time, that's the one. She's walking the beast back. She's a lady on a mission, because everyone else has gone off without her. Aren't you? Going back to your pals? Going back to your pals? Oh. Nellie's had a little wipe down with the sponge and now she's having a nap. Tired girl. Sorry, hon, that's a bit soupy. No. Away from me. Hello.
How was she?
You. I've wasted a lot of that by the end, aren't we? Sorry. That's what happens when I'm too busy talking. Whoop!
Oh no, it's all over our driver.
So, that is camp pretty much done. Brought Nellie for our little hand graze before we go back in the box. Heather's mucking out her stable and we've put everything else back in the lorry. But I thought just give her a little leg stretch because she didn't do her last lesson of the day, did you? We kind of decided yesterday that we weren't going to do that. I think I've said that anyway, but I think it was the right choice. As you'll see from the footage, it was quite a technical grid, quite an advancement on Nellie's last grid, and she managed okay, but by the end I think body and mind was just a little bit gone and she just was done. So we simplified it back down to normal, as you'll have seen, and finished on that. And actually the rest of the group didn't do too much more either, which is nice. We probably could have benefited from being in the group below us for today, certainly. Maybe even for yesterday, to be honest, but I liked that we were in the group that we were in yesterday because it did push me out of my comfort zone. Nellie's more than capable, it's me that holds her back. I know that, and I've known that for ages, and she just needs me to commit a little bit more, but I'm working on myself and we'll get there. Anne-Marie is in her lesson, which is the last lesson of the day, and she's who's taking us back in the lorry, so once she's back, we'll get her horse all sorted and then we'll just get ready and go. 2-hour 45-minute journey back to Scotland, because we're actually in England. I don't know if I said that. So just getting Nellie some grass and a wee leg stretch before we go. And we'll probably get back to the yard in the dark. Great. 2 tired girls. Well, tired enough apparently. Waiting to go home. Doing the walk back to the yard in the pitch black pissing rain. But she's actually been an absolute angel. She stood and waited for us to load the car, so chuffed with her. And we'll have to get you to bed, get you breakfast. God, I'm tired. Dinner. So that brings us to the end of pre-event camp 2022. As I have already said, we went to Park and Equestrian, and our instructor was Charlotte Ridley, who owns that complex, which is amazing. It's the next day, the day after. I've just brought Nellie in for some lunch and a little light groom, and then she's going back out again to the field for a lovely, restful afternoon, and she's going to have tomorrow off as well. Aren't you, for being such a good girl? Camp was really beneficial in a lot of ways. It has highlighted to me a lot of areas requiring more work for me. I am definitely not as confident as I need to be sometimes, and I haven't done enough riding in my life, like competitive riding that teaches you a lot about doing things correctly. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically I've never had regular lessons. I didn't have my own pony as a child, so I'm kind of learning how to ride really properly now. And that's sort of showed in camp. Although I've done a lot of riding, I've been riding a long time, I'm learning now that I'm having lessons and in camp a bit more about you can't just point and press, you've really got to ride the beast underneath you. And there's a lot of lessons that I'm learning for the first time that are probably second nature to a lot of people my age. So that was good. It was also good that Nellie was so chill about going away. Like, in that stable that she'd never been to, with all those horses that she'd never seen, she stood in that stable, no bother. There was no stressy behaviour when she got there. Don't get me wrong, when we were in our lessons with 3-4 other horses, there's quite a few stress poos and a few ex-racer moments, which you'll have seen. But that's why we went. We went to that camp to see how she was with that repetitive exposure to those sort of experiences. And actually, by the last lesson in the indoor school that we went to, she didn't do any of that. She was foot perfect. She was absolutely foot perfect. She was definitely tense and a little bit stressed, but she had no episodes of freaking out, dancing off, jumping about. It was amazing. I was so I could have gone home after that part. The exercise was good. It was difficult, which that showed, but worth doing. And I'm glad that we made the decision the day before that she was just going to do the one lesson. I think that was the right thing to do after the colic and the weight loss, and you know, it's a lot for her little brain, and her brain at the end just said, I'm done, Mum, I can't keep doing this. And she'd been so good, like I couldn't really have asked for more for our first ever camp like that. And it was also a great experience to see how other people ride their horses. We listened to a lot of people's lessons, watched a lot of lessons, and actually it was really nice to see that everybody's different. Everybody has different struggles, everyone has different fears, and learning from everyone else's hopefully means if I ever come up against it myself that I have a little bit more to go on. And also that, like, nobody's perfect. Even the people that I looked at in the camp and thought they are absolutely unbelievable, they had sticky moments. They had their spicy horses, you know. We were probably the least developed. We were probably the least developed at the camp, but I'm okay with that. Keeps me humble. Keeps us humble, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm gonna sign the vlog off here. I'm not exactly sure what kind of footage we've got. It's a little bit bitty, it's difficult. Time gets away from you in these sort of things, and staying on top of vlogging whilst you're surrounded by all those people and chatting and tacking up and eating food and was difficult. So I've done my best. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give the video a like and comment if you have anything you wanted to say about it. If you want to follow us on our social media, it is at TwoJollyJockeys. I want to say a massive thank you to Park End Equestrian and Charlotte Ridley for hosting us. A massive thank you to our riding club, which is People's and District Riding Club, for organising it. And a huge thank you to Heather, who came along, logged the tack, took pictures, took videos, held my horse, mucked out, all the things that an amazing groom did. And it's just amazing. And obviously, the biggest thank you to my lovely horse, who was so good. You know, and I think she learned a lot. Did you learn a lot? Did you? Yeah, I did learn a lot, Mum. And Obviously subscribe to our channel if you're not already for more Nelliness and other Jolly Jockey fun. I'll see you next time. Bye!